Now at 5, primary day. We'll have complete and comprehensive coverage on today's election with live reports from all over the city and state.
Plus, a new picture of the supposed killer in the decades-old cold case involving April Tinsley has been released with the hopes of finally finding a suspect.
And more rain is headed in tomorrow. I'm tracking it in your Live Doppler 15 Fury forecast. First at 5 starts now.
You're watching coverage you can count on. This is News Channel 15's First at 5.
Good evening. All eyes are on Indiana tonight as results are likely to determine the outcomes of the presidential nomination for both parties.
The polls close in just an hour, and while the battle between Democrats Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders hasn't drawn as much attention, for Republicans Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, it has been a war of words all across the entire state. And News Channel 15's Rod Hissong starts off our primary 2016 team coverage from Studio 15. Rod?
Brett and Heather, good evening. Those war of words from Trump and Cruz are hoping to collect as many delegates across Indiana. The Hoosier State breaks down 57 Republican delegates this way. This is a map of the congressional districts in Indiana. Each winner of those congressional districts gets 3 delegates. Pretty simple. So there's a chance today that someone could take a few of these districts but not collect the most delegates, which is very likely to happen. There's a feeling that Trump on the Republican side could take many from about the central Kokomo area south, and then Cruz may get some of the northern areas, but that's yet to be determined. The other allocation of delegates, as we switch over to the second graphic, is the remaining delegates for the Republican Party, which is whoever gets the most votes total would then get 30 delegates. For the Democratic side, it's a little easier on the surface. There's 83 delegates that are divided proportionally, and then 9 superdelegates that are up for grabs. But those superdelegates, as you've heard in the polls or heard in the news, can really vote however they want. So there's at least 83 delegates that will be decided tonight, presuming that we have a winner, of course, and then those superdelegates can pledge however they want. There is a belief that 7 of those 9 delegates have already chosen to go with Clinton. We'll have more on the presidential race coming up at 6. For now, we're live in Studio 15. Rod Hissong, News Channel 15.
The latest poll shows both GOP and Democratic frontrunners with sizable leads. This is the NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll. On the Republican side, it shows Donald Trump with a 15-point lead over Ted Cruz. Cruz has been crisscrossing the state, trying to close that gap. It's a tighter race on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton holds a 4-point lead over Bernie Sanders.
Another big race that we're watching tonight is the U.S. Senate Republican primary between Marlin Stutzman and Todd Young.
News Channel 15's Holly Campbell is live in Indianapolis tonight at Stutzman's election night headquarters. Holly?
That's right. We're in Indianapolis at the Drury Inn on the city's northeast side, where Marlin Stutzman's campaign is getting this room set up right now, where he will host his election night celebration party that starts in about an hour and a half. Stutzman is facing Todd Young in this primary for the Republican nomination in the U.S. Senate race. Stutzman is the U.S. representative for Indiana's 3rd district. Young is the U.S. representative for Indiana's 9th district. The winner of tonight's primary will face Democratic candidate Barron Hill in the general election this November. The winner of the November election will fill the seat currently held by Republican Dan Coats, who is retiring. This race between Stutzman and Young has been a hotly contested one. Leading up to today, Stutzman's campaign spending has been called into question, and before that, Young's eligibility to be on the ballot was called into question. According to a poll by NBC, The Wall Street Journal, and Marist, Young has a 32-point lead over Stutzman. We will have a live interview with Stutzman tonight around 7:30 during our half-hour election special. For now, live in Indianapolis, Holly Campbell, News Channel 15.
When Marlin Stutzman decided to run for Senate, that opened the door for his seat in the U.S. House.
And that's just one of the local races that Allen County Republicans will be watching tonight. We continue our live team coverage from downtown Fort Wayne at the GOP headquarters. Alyssa?
Well, there's not a lot of people here just yet. Polls are still open, but this room will be packed later tonight as area Republicans are all watching the results rolling in. Now, there are several contested Republican primary races in today's election, and you might have noticed a lot of television ads running in the last couple of weeks. In fact, we were told today that this is the most money ever spent in our TV market in a primary election. Now, one of those really hotly contested races, U.S. Representative District 3. 6 Republicans vying for that spot on November's ballot. State Senators Jim Banks and Liz Brown, Mark Behringer, Pam Galloway, Kevin Howell, and Kip Tom all on today's ticket. Another big race tonight on the Republican ticket, State Senate District 16. Incumbent President Pro Tem of the Indiana Senate, David Long, running for re-election, first elected in 1996, but he seems to be campaigning harder this primary than in years past. Our News Channel 15 political analyst saying he has to, with his challenger, John Kessler, having connections in the State House. Kessler is an economics professor at IPFW. Now, some of the other contested races on the Republican ticket tonight, Surveyor, District 1 County Commissioner, as well as County Council at Large. We will be here with the GOP headquarters all night as those results are coming in. We'll bring you the latest. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll also hear some perspective on these contested races from GOP Party Chairman Steve Schein. Live downtown at the GOP headquarters, Alyssa Ivinson, News Channel 15.
Casey Cox is hoping to keep his spot in the Indiana House of Representatives for District 85. Cox is up against Dave Heine and Denny Warman. District 85 covers the east side of Allen County and includes Fort Wayne, Woodburn, New Haven, and Leo Cedarville. 2 Republicans are hoping to be the next Allen County surveyor. Alan Friesinger and Jeff Sorg are running against each other for that position. Back in '97, Sorg resigned his position as surveyor after it was discovered he had a criminal record. Friesinger then took over the position, but now Sorg is looking to get his old seat back. His conviction has since been erased from his record.
Democrats are also watching several races in the county tonight.
News Channel 15's Angelica Robinson wraps up our primary 2016 team coverage from the Democratic headquarters. Angelica.
I'm live at the Allen County Democratic headquarters here on Decatur Road, and joining me here is the chairman of the Democratic Party, that's Jack Morris. So today is the big day. It's election day. Are you excited?
Well, it's exciting. It's not quite as exciting for us here at Dem headquarters today because the presidential campaign's running their own operations out of their headquarters. They're doing a lot of the get out the vote. We've been focused on helping voters get to the voting places. We've fielded a lot of calls about people helping them find their voting locations and then getting rides. We've been very steady getting rides all day long. We've had our drivers out and about constantly today, helping voters and getting calls, helping people find their voting locations.
So as we know, all eyes on Indiana with the presidential race. It's a close race between, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. What do you think about that race?
Well, both campaigns have run a good race, and they've done a great job here in Fort Wayne. And so I wouldn't be surprised with any specific outcome. I personally believe that the Hillary campaign will probably pull it out, so the Clinton campaign will win and carry forward that momentum. But the Sanders campaign has done a great job and has run a great campaign, and their workers have been very dedicated, and I've been proud to see both campaigns and how well they've worked.
Now, who do you think will go up, against the Republican person? Who do you think would do a better job? Do you think it would be Hillary?
Well, I have done a great job of being the chair of the Allen County Democratic Party and being neutral, and I'm going to maintain that neutrality. I think either one of them is light years better than anybody on the Republican side, so either one of them will do a great job and go forward to be our president in the fall.
Okay. Now, we've also got the 3rd district race. We are looking out for that one. It looks like we've got, Todd Nightenhelzer, John Roberson, and Tommy Schrader. What are you expecting out of that race?
Well, the only one of those 3 that has worked has been Todd, and Todd has done a great job of going around the district and meeting with people. He's done a fantastic job of meeting voters. The other 2 haven't done anything. The problem you have in that particular case is Tommy Schrader on the bottom, is just a Schrader name is known in the county, so that's always a risk, but Todd should win that easily.
All right, thank you, and thank you for talking with us. We are going to bring you more information as it becomes available when the polls start coming in. We'll be live here again at 6 o'clock at the Democratic headquarters.
All right, thank you, Angelica. 2 Allen County school districts will be watching the results closely tonight. Fort Wayne Community Schools hopes a referendum passes so the district can fully renovate 10 buildings, put air conditioning in 16 buildings, and make improvements to security and safety at 42 buildings. That referendum will not raise taxes. They'll stay the same from when the first referendum passed in 2012. Another referendum that will not be raising taxes is in Southwest Allen County Schools. District leaders hope to renew a referendum that voters passed back in 2009. 2009. That is set to expire in December. The $3.5 million referendum funds 52 positions within the district.
Of course, News Channel 15 is your election headquarters. We'll have you covered throughout the night. Starting at 7:30, we'll get you up to date on all the races and have analysis in our election special. Then throughout the night, as the votes come in, we'll bring you updates to let you know where all the races stand. Join Heather and me for a News Channel 15 election special starting at 7:30.
With so many important races tonight, we've brought in political expert Mike Wolf to talk about the presidential races and other topics. See what he has to say about the importance of Indiana in this election when First at 5 continues.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Brett Thomas.
We're about 40 minutes away from the first returns coming in for this year's primary.
Across the nation, people are watching what Indiana will do when it comes to the presidential race. Mike Wolf with the Mike Downs Center for Indiana Politics at IPFW is here with us now. What are you thinking we can expect on both the Republican and the Democratic side for the presidential race?
Huge turnout, and we don't quite know what's going to happen. I mean, obviously we've seen polls move, and it looks like they're breaking late for both Clinton at some level, but certainly for Trump. We'll see if that holds. It's awfully difficult to see in this big turnout exactly what's going to happen.
All right, let's talk about Trump and Cruz here. If Trump wins this race in Indiana, does that pretty much secure the nomination for him?
I would say it's close, if not, because the momentum that he's built now for the last month is huge. And we know, if anything, textbook-wise on primary and caucus, is that the momentum just keeps to grow, and it picks up. And then you have California. If he rolls into California with a lot of momentum from Indiana and these other states, it's going to be very difficult.
Cruz was trying to hold him off, though. This was going to be kind of the one state that was going to put up that firewall to stop the momentum.
He pulled everything out, too. He pulled a vice president out earlier than we've ever seen. He pulled out this deal with Kasich. I mean, it's if he can't do it here, what else can he pull out of his hat?
On the Democratic side, if Bernie Sanders does not win Indiana, is it over for him?
He's going to have a hard time because mathematically she's way ahead. I mean, at this point, Indiana, interestingly, 8 years ago, was the point that Barack Obama kind of put Hillary Clinton to bed. And if she's way ahead of him at this point, then it would seem to be a marker point that he just can't overcome.
Let's talk about Marlin Stutzman and Todd Young here. The winner will face Barron Hill in the general election here. What are you seeing in that election right now?
Well, I mean, this should be a Republican good gain. You got two really good candidates against a former member of Congress. So in the fall, it'd be a great election no matter who wins. I was really surprised to see how big that lead was in the last poll you put up, because that just seems a very wide one. I would imagine it come in a little bit tighter than that, but we'll see if that news that you guys reported, this campaign finance kind of deal and expenditures hurts him. He seemed to hint at on your coverage last night a little bit. It almost seemed resigned a little bit. That hurt him significantly.
All right.
Well, thank you for your analysis, as always, and we'll join you back here at 6 o'clock.
Excellent.
Yep, and for our election special coming up at 7:30 this evening as well.
Great.
Thank you again. Nicholas is up next with a look at that forecast.
Coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
All right, on this primary day, my latest Cumulus poll is in, and the desire for a sunny day is far outpacing the desire for another cloudy one. Take a look at our Parkview field camera here. Mostly cloudy outside, as expected. And as I told you last night, the amount of clouds today would far outnumber the breaks of sun that we see. And you can see there are only a few breaks of blue spotted in the image as the moments roll by. Here are the three things that you need to know in your forecast tonight. A few stray sprinkles are possible. I'm pinpointing these in an area south and southeast of Fort Wayne. This has been the area that's been most at risk to see sprinkles today. If you are in these spots, you have seen some raindrops earlier on. For us all tomorrow, rain will be likely, a new system dropping in, bringing widespread rain and even a few thunderstorms. And then by Thursday, we're dry, but you know what? Still mostly cloudy around here. Friday, though, I see a lot of sunshine headed our way, so just be patient with me on waiting for the sun. The clouds are blanketing the entire area now with just a few blips of rain showing up, a little shower over Decatur now, then another shower in southern Jay County south of Portland. This is the next system that's headed in tomorrow. It's still a long ways from here, but by the time we get to tomorrow morning, this system will be dropping south and will start to bring us our Wednesday rain. 62 degrees is our current temperature. Our winds are breezy from the west-southwest at 12 miles per hour. We have a temperature of 60 in Garrett now, also 60 in Ligonier. Columbia City, you're at 58. 58 also in Ossian and Bern. Andrews and Van Wert now are at 60 degrees. On Futurecast tonight, the sky remains cloudy. Overnight, temperatures will be falling into the 40s. We're going to start off our Wednesday morning with temperatures down in the upper 40s. 48 are low in Fort Wayne, and by 7 in the morning, we have that scattered rain already showing up across the area, mainly northwest of Fort Wayne at that point. But watch as the rain moves farther south across the region as the morning rolls into the afternoon. The best chance at rain tomorrow comes during the morning. During the afternoon, some scattered rain still around, but it's headed out, moving to the southeast. We could see a few thunderstorms in the mix tomorrow with this system dropping in, but no severe weather expected here. And then once we get into the evening, the rain gets out of the picture. So on our Wednesday, 53 degrees will be our temperature at 9 in the morning, 55 at noon, then 55 at 5 o'clock with a high in between there of 56. It's going to be a windy day with this incoming weather system. Winds from the southwest in the morning, northwesterly in the afternoon, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. We'll see those high temperatures go from the mid-50s on Wednesday to the low to mid-60s on Thursday. And then on Friday, 69 with some sunshine. Saturday, close to 80, a hot day, but some rain and thunderstorms possible there. On Mother's Day Sunday, 65, a little cooler, and then more rain chances Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas.
A new composite drawing in the killing of April Tinsley could help solve the decades-old mystery of who did it. We'll show it to you.
Plus, on Friday, the homeless living under the Ewing Street Bridge were told to be gone by this morning. When First at 5 returns, hear from one of the homeless men who says there is nowhere else to go.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Brett Thomas.
A company called Parabon has released a new rendering of the person who may be responsible for April Tinsley's death. Here is a side-by-side look. Parabon released an image last year, hoping to get some sort of lead. Since then, the company has changed its process and added a forensic artist to better depict the potential suspect. The new rendering is on the left, and then there is an age-progressed rendering on the right. 8-year-old April Tinsley was kidnapped and killed back in 1988.
This morning was the deadline for homeless people to clear out of the stuff under the Ewing Street Bridge. We went out there this morning, and several people were still there, but by this afternoon, they were all gone. Some of the homeless told us they started moving their stuff out from underneath the bridge, but they just want a place to stay without being evicted.
We're trying to find other spots. I found a more secluded spot, where I'm at now, and pretty much when the city finds out, they'll probably do the same thing. There's only one men's shelter here, and they're overcrowded. Some of us, like me, can't stay there for one reason or another, and the women's shelter's full. They've got a waiting list of people. So there's nowhere else to go.
About 13 people were affected by the city's eviction notice.
The driver who sped away from a crash on I-469 yesterday morning is now facing charges. Roger Cayley is charged with 2 counts of leaving the scene of a crash. Police say Cayley hit a subcontractor on I-469 who was moving barricades on the interstate between Marion Center and Decatur roads. The subcontractor is still in critical condition. Because of some witnesses, police were able to track down Cayley in New Haven.
There's a chance of some rain and some storms tomorrow. Nicholas will have one final look at that forecast after this.
News Channel 15's primary 2016 coverage continues in a half an hour at 6. We'll have live reports from all across the state. You can also expect some of the results to start coming in during the 6 o'clock news. Once that starts happening, we will display those at the bottom of your screen.
And you're talking a little bit about some stormy weather tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to see some rain. Some thunderstorms are possible. It's not a big outbreak of storms. We're not likely to see severe storms, but you'll hear the thunder, might see a few lightning strikes, and the best chance of that would be from morning through midday. Lower rain chances during the afternoon just because the rain will be pressing southeast during that time. With the rain and this incoming system tomorrow, our high temperatures will only be in the 50s, so a little bit cooler tomorrow. 56 will be the high. On Thursday, the rain will be gone. We warm up a tad, 63, but still mostly cloudy. By Friday, some more sun around here, and we'll get to near 70.
Won't that be nice?
Oh, I can't wait.
Been waiting for that
A
sunshine.
good way to end the week on Friday there.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock with more election coverage.
Good night.